Hey everyone, this is Mr. Cresswell, and I want to take you through what what Algebra 2 will be like this year. I'm going to try and not overlap with what I've already put in the syllabus video. I just want this to be a short kind of overview of what the course will be like. So, this is for Algebra 2 students. If you are not in my Algebra 2 class, then you have a different video to watch or you're in the wrong place. So let's get started here. First thing is, what will class be like, just in general? Broad overview of the course. Well, my goal for this class, when I was kind of designing what it would look like, was for there not to be a huge difference between the hybrid and the remote, or Euler's Online, or the remote learning days, for there to not be much of a difference between those experiences, with the exception of when you're in person with me, all of the advantages that come with being in the same room as your teacher, okay? But otherwise, a lot of things will be the same and will feel the same between the hybrid and the remote days, aside from your location, right? So let's look at kind of big picture. What's every unit look like? What's the broad layout of the course? And then we'll get into daily stuff here in a second. So every unit or chapter, every chapter, I'm going to give you a unit checklist, and some of you might already have this, but the checklist looks like this. This is the one for chapter 1. There's also one for unit 0, which is the course logistics checklist to make sure you know what's going on in class, which this video is a part of. But here's the chapter 1 unit checklist, and the point of this is that it tells you what you're going to do, what you need to do during the entire chapter. All lessons, direct instruction lessons, are going to be pre-recorded and uploaded to Google Classroom. And so you can see here that it says take notes on section 1.1 video lesson part 1. That's the direct instruction. I will not be doing direct instruction lectures through Google Meet. Okay, they will be all pre-recorded. Here you've got your assignments off to the left. If there was any activities, I would include them in the packet. You've got video lessons, assignments. It also tells you when there is a quiz, right? Over here, this self-assessment column, let me explain that real quick. Here's your assignment for section 1.1. Now, if it's coming close to quiz day and you want to know, do I have a good sense of section 1.1 or not, you should use these problems to assess yourself, and that will give you an idea of whether you understand what's going on or not. Okay, so there are problems that are similar to the quiz, similar to the assignment, that you can use to test yourself, and I tried to pick almost exclusively odds so that you could check your answer. Great habit to get into. It's called metacognition, trying to figure out how well you understand something, so that you don't get to the quiz, take the quiz, think you were going to do well, and then do terrible. All right. Over here, you should rate your understanding. Again, it's that metacognitive thing where you're trying to think about how well you understood something. It's a little bit of a reflection, and then you can write down that whatever day you completed it, but mainly you can check it off. Okay. So once you've done part of this, you just move your way down the checklist. You can move ahead. That's the way this is designed, is that if you want to make Monday, Math Monday, you can move ahead and do a couple of sections at once if you want to, or Tuesday or whatever day, right? These dates, though, the quiz and test dates, those are not written in stone, but I will give you those dates, and you will be expected to take the quiz or the test on those dates unless you are sick or absent or something like that. There's some other extenuating circumstance so that you can't take the quiz that day. Okay, and this just kind of gives you an idea of how long each thing should take over to the right. All right, so you'll get the unit plan. Quizzes and test dates will be set, like I said. You can move ahead in the schedule, but you can't fall behind. All assignments will be due on the day of the quiz for full credit, and then if you turn them in before the day of the test, but after the quiz, I'll take 4 points out of 5, and then after the test, they're a 0. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to happen each day. Every day at the start of what would normally be your class time, I am going to start a Google Meet. And in that Google Meet, we will kind of discuss what the plan for the day is and that kind of thing. You will then, at the beginning of class, take the attendance activity. This is how we'll be taking attendance. If you're remote, if you're Euler's Online, you will complete this Desmos activity in Google Classroom. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. So in Classroom, under critical course information, there will be an attendance activity, and it might be, I think it'll end up being by date here, but I haven't put the first one in. So when you click the activity, it will tell you, go to student.desmos, All right, it will say, I've just messed this up. It will say go to student.desmos.com and type in the code, and then it will have a code there. All right, so you will to student.desmos.com. If you've never been there before, this is what it looks like. You're going to type in the code, and that will take you to the attendance activity. That's how I will take attendance each day. So this screen looks like this. In a second here, I'm already signed in. You do want to be signed in. It will ask you, should you sign in, or do you want to sign in? You do. Use your school Gmail to sign in. Okay, you type in the code. This is what the activity will look like here. It will just be a couple of slides, and it will also include the warm-up for the day. So this first one is just kind of checking how you're at, or where you're at. You know, are you feeling pretty positive, sort of negative? Are you feeling more energetic or tired? And you kind of place yourself on here. It'll give me a good kind of temperature of the class, see how we're doing. Then the next slide is just a little warm-up problem. And then the plan is you do that, you do the warm-up, and then we get class rolling in the Google Meet. I'll kind of talk about where you should be at, when quizzes are coming up. I might reteach some things, right? Recap lessons that are sort of difficult. All the stuff that I would normally do at the beginning of class will be on that Google Meet. And then you'll have what I'm calling differentiated work time. Okay, so if we go back to the timeline here for the daily structure, recap lessons, Okay, differentiated work time. So you might be watching a video during that time, remote or in class. You might be working on the assignment, probably working on the assignment during that time. You might be catching up if you were sick or something. You'll be, if you're in person, you'll likely be getting help from me. If you're at home, I will leave the Google Meet open. If you need help, you can drop it in the chat, and then I will know that you need help, and I will be checking the chat periodically while I'm in class, not constantly. But if you have a question or something, then I can help you in that way, or I will know that you need help. All right. Then when you're done working for the day, when you're done working on math, even if it doesn't happen to be during class time, so even if you miss the Google Meet, but you do the attendance activity at 3 p.m. or something like this, right? Then you do the activity, you do some math, and then when you're wrapping up for the day, to kind of put an end to math class, you are going to do the last slide of that attendance activity, which is closure. And it says, based on your progress today and the date of the quiz, what's your plan for tomorrow? So this is to kind of keep you oriented in space, in time, with where you're at in the unit and in math. Okay, so I tried to set this up with the daily Google Meets, the opening activity in this closure piece to give you some consistency, and the unit plan as well, to help you always know what you've done, what you have to do next, and to give you some consistency in your day, whether you're here or you're at home or you're constantly at home because your Oiler's online. I think having that structure each day where you know that this time is math time is going to be helpful. Ignore the screen. This will look sort of different for you. All right, back to the slideshow. We are almost finished here. Important reminders. You're going to turn in your assignments, your book assignments, through Google Classroom. Make sure that when you upload a picture of your work and you're done, you turn it in. That puts a timestamp on it. Makes me, then I know that you turned it in on time, or what time you turned it in, and then I know that it's ready to be looked at and checked. The textbook can be found online, so you don't need a physical copy of the textbook if you don't want one, but you can check one out if you want. So that information is in an email that I've already sent to you. And if you need help, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know as soon as possible, because the earlier we sort these things out, the earlier you let me know that you're confused, the quicker we can address it and we can get rolling. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything, please let me know. I tried to set this up so everything is as clear as possible, and hopefully once we get rolling here, everything will you'll kind of get in the groove, and it should go as smooth as it can given the circumstances. So I can't wait to see you. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and that's it.